right, I get asked this question all the time. Civil, how do I get better at Madden? Advice for getting better at Madden. Civil, how do I win more games in Madden? Something along those lines. So on Twitter, I decided to do a thread, and we're going to talk about it. It's easier for me to speak on it a little bit more than I can type in a thread, I guess. So, biggest pieces of advice for the Madden 23 season if you want to get better, a thread. Salute. All right, so number one, watch the best players play. Regardless if you want to run meta or do your own thing, watch what the best players are doing, what they're running, and figure out how you can apply it to your own game. I run a ton of my own stuff, but I steal a lot of shit from other people, okay? The best players, what you have to realize is that when you watch the best streamers in the world, when you watch pro players, when you watch players like, I'm using myself for example, we spend all day, every day playing this game and optimizing every play call, optimizing every route in the field, every defensive adjustment, everything. And there's a good reason for basically most of what we do, okay? So being able to identify those things and put them into your own game is only going to be a huge, huge advantage for you, okay? Take what the people are doing who are at the top of the game, and even if you don't want to copy them exactly, identify what they're doing and apply it to what you're trying to do, okay? That is such a huge deal, man. And that's such a big deal, man. Number two, grind weekend league and head-to-head, all right? The reason I say is that one of the biggest ways to get better at the game is just reps, playing the game. You have to play the game to get better at the game. If you only spend all of your time in practice mode, you might find some really cool shit, but you need to test that shit, right? The amount of shit I have learned from weekend league and head-to-head is literally insane. When I was in TNC, the best man crew in the world at that time, we had members win 5 figures, even 6 figures worth of money using glitches that we learned by playing random people in head-to-head. That's just a random kind of little tidbit that even if they're random people in head-to-head, you can still learn something from them. You can still take something from them, all right? Continued. In addition to this, it'll help you get more comfortable with your schemes, how the game functions, and how to handle different situations. I don't always care about winning in these head-to-head games, but instead seeing how a certain play reacts against a certain defense or offense, okay? Getting familiar in your schemes will help you in so many. Madden is such a game where a lot of games are won and lost by a few plays. It's like the NFL, right? I mean, it really is, okay? So what that comes down to is a lot of little things that happen throughout the game as well can play a huge factor. You knowing how to click on and swerve a certain route for a catch can be the difference between a 20-yard gain and a pick that results in 7 the other way later on that drive for the other team, okay? The little things are so important. The only way to really pick up on a lot of the little things is by combining, number one, watching the best players play, and then number two, actually playing the game, okay? I especially recommend trying to put yourself in high-pressure situations. Now, this is a bit bigger of a deal if you're trying to actually compete in tournaments, but learning how to handle 2-minute drills, goal line stands, being backed up your own one is insanely important. Small tournaments and CFM are really good for this, okay? One of my biggest learning things was that in an overtime game of Madden 18, okay, this is when I first got into Madden, on the first drive for my opponent, right, 3 would give me the ball back. If he scored, he wins, right? He got ball first. I went hyper aggressive on like a 1st and 10 or a 2nd down. On a down I should not have went aggressive on, okay? And what did he do? He burnt me over the top for an easy touchdown. And I was like, oh, wow. This was an extremely high-pressure situation for him, right? Because he had ball first, so there's pressure on you to score. And I literally just gave up a streak or like a post route for a touchdown. And I'm like, okay, that was a situation that I know now I am never going to do that. I'm never going to go hyper-aggressive early in overtime. It's just dumb. To make your opponent at least have to work, because it's okay if they get 3. And actually, the overtime rules changed this year, which is even better, by the way. Another great example is learning how to handle being on your own 1-yard line, right? Kind of unique situations kind of goes into this whole number 3 bullet point. And being on your own 1 is a weird spot. A lot of people have terrible play calls here. All you need to do is come up with just one play that you like from your own 1. Just one play where if you throw the ball away, you're fine. You have a quick read. You can beat the blitz. You can beat coverage. Because this is a situation where, let's say you get a pick and you get on your own 1. Okay, awesome, but you need to get out of your own 1. having a play for that is huge, and a lot of times you learn those plays through being in higher pressure situations and just these unique situations, okay? Number 4 is a tough one. Have friends, all right? The big deal here is that while you can play and grind a lot of Weekend League head-to-head, the fact of the matter is that when you have people to bounce ideas off of, it's going to be a huge deal, right? Having friends to practice live against is so big. I don't think you need a crew, but you definitely are going to want somebody or some ones who you can practice against. My Discord is great for this, along with Twitch and Twitter for just finding rep games and just becoming connected in the community, okay? Just getting repetition and practice is huge, okay? Sometimes you want to rep against a certain defense. Sometimes you want to rep against a certain offense. Sometimes you want to rep those 2-minute drills, those backed up on your own one. Sometimes you want to rep red zone, right? You need friends to be able to do this. It just helps it helps a ton, man. Like, it helps a freaking ton, okay? Number 5 is learn the meta. The reason this is a really big deal, and it kind of ties to number 1, is that the meta is what you're going to play against 80-90% of your games online. Even in tournaments, you're gonna be playing majority of the meta. Not always, but majority of the time, statistically, you will be playing the meta. So what you want is a game plan against the meta. Before you even get into the game, you should know what you're gonna do against a certain meta, okay? All of this year, when I saw $1, I knew 1, I was gonna be able to escape the pocket, pre-escape artist, and 2, I knew they were gonna be in cover 2 or cover 4, so my play triple out would literally be a 60-yard bomb. Okay, I knew this. When they were in 3-5 wide, I knew that I could attack, how to attack it if they're sending 5. Even if they're containing me, I knew plays I could use, I could go to, okay? The reason this is so important, and I guess I'll just reread it as I just kind of said it, is that you're going to play meta majority of your games. You need to have a gameplay where you're going to do. I can think of while I'm typing the first things I do to whatever meta form I see. Against bunch, I know what plays you want to run out of bunch. Okay, verticals, mesh spots. You have ideas of how you're going to defend those plays. And the meta will come out probably 2 weeks after the game. You'll really be able to start seeing a consistent meta. And for those of you who don't know, meta is basically just, it stands for like the most effective tactics available in gaming. It's just what the majority of people are doing at a high level to give themselves the best chance at success. So like gun bunch tight end, gun bunch or meta. Just very popular formations, all right? Number 6, set yourself up for success, okay? Do not run gun wildcat, Y off weak flex because you want to be different. Do not use Joey sucks balls because he's your favorite player. You have to run the best schemes and you have to use the best players to have a chance to win. Now, it's important for me to note that this entire thing is coming from the perspective of winning as many Madden games as possible. There's a fine line between having fun, playing the game for fun, and trying to win as many games as possible, and that line gets blurry. I blur all the time for myself. If you're playing casually or just for fun, that's awesome. That is how Madden should be. That's how you should get into Madden. That's how I got into Madden, running schemes that were fun to me, using players that were sick to me, all of that stuff, okay? But I just want to make a note that everything I talk about here is with the idea of winning as many games as possible. Because for me, especially early in the year, that's what's fun. Immediately in the game is winning. And then as the year goes on, I'll start doing maybe more dumb stuff to have more fun. Maybe like I did a Lions theme game as this game went on. That type of stuff. But I just want to be very clear that everything here is for the sake of winning as much as possible. If you want to have fun, freaking awesome. Use your favorite players. Run the scheme that you ran in high school or college, or your favorite coaches or whatever. But yes, I am running a promotion on my website, civil.gg. Okay, if you click this link right here, my annual subscription is literally $30 off. All you have to do is go here. Wow, it is being slow right now. That actually has never happened before. Let's go right back into it. That never happens. Huh. Okay, this is really bad. Okay, awesome. Add coupon. We're going to go pre-sale. I'm not going to cut that out. I'm a very raw individual, okay? $30 off. All right, boys. Get a whole year for just $80. Best content in the game year-round. I believe in everything I do here, boys. All right, I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all in the next video.